Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Talkie Tuesday live stream. Thanks for coming and thanks to the VOD squad. Shout out to the VOD squad, people watching this after the event. Last week there was some alcohol. Things got a little bit crazy. Things got a bit heated. And someone pressed some of the wrong buttons and the stream it wasn't great. This week Nurgle has touched me. I hate Nurgle. I much prefer Slaanesh. Slaanesh has got all the boobs. Mind you, Nurgle's got some really big boobs. Like sort of hang out sideways from the tank top boobs. So they're not good boobs. But anyway, Nurgle's touched me. Don't like being touched by Nurgle. Much rather be touched by Slaanesh. And here we are. But we're going to soldier on through, because I want to look at some of the new reveals and things with you guys and see what we think. We forget about last week and the craziness. This one's probably going to be short as well. Don't worry. I've got the tissues on standby. We will crack on. Now, in the meantime, hi guys. Hi, Killer Creeksman has been a member for 20 months. Thanks. It's in the eyes. I'll tell you what. It's not that bad. It's one of those that's really heavy on the chest. And I feel tired, but it's not achy and it's a bit, it's not a bad one. I'm not in pain. It is in the eyes though. Also, I had a long weekend where I had a mad Warhammer sort of gaming weekend with some friends. We went away. We did this thing. It was lovely. Wolfboot was there, asking, here he is, Stylus, where's my Magnus? You see, a lovely weekend, but I'm diseased up the other. Anyway, let's listen. Wolfboot, Stylus. I do not have a Magnus-shaped hole in my life. Okay, I may have 3 of the greater demons, Primarchs, 3 demon Primarchs, and the rumors suggest that there might be a 4th one. But as far as I'm concerned, Fulgrim, Angron, and Mortarion are all the collection you need. You know, it's not like anyone's at home saying, hey, it's that Winter's YouTube Warhammer guy who thinks he's like a Warhammerer and he's got 3 demon Primarchs, not a 4th demon Primarch. Puh. What sort of Warhammer does he think he is? Who? Who's going to say such a thing? Are you alright there, Kitty? He's alright. So we don't need a 4. What do you mean incomplete demon Primarch collection? You don't need a 3 demon Primarchs is greedy in itself. A 4th one is just like... Also, you see, the problem with getting the Magnus... I don't want to turn to Tzeentch's Embrace, Sven. See, the problem with getting a Magnus to complete the demon Primarch collection means I've got a Magnus and no Thousand Suns army. So that means I'd have to get a Thousand Suns army and then paint it in the classical Prosperan Tiscan red with the red and silver rather than the blue and silver, because that would look really cool. So no, if we end up getting Magnus, that's the start of a slippery slope to chaos. And you know, I don't like the chaos things. And Raging Horn, thank you for being a member for 30 months. Hope you don't have Mingy Titus. Yeah, and he's gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Can we give Raging Horn a GG's in the chat? I don't have Mingy Titus. I've heard Mingy Titus is going around, but I basically... No minge here, mate. No minge here at all. You know what I mean? No minge. I don't want to embrace Seat, Sven, Axfist. No. No Tzeentch. No Magnus. No one is going to comment on any videos that, hey, they look incomplete up there. Just 3 out of 4 of the Demon Pride. It's going to be fine. You only need 3. GG's, yeah, GG's. We're off to a flying start despite the nurgliness. Thank you, Raging Horn. Thank you. So yeah, Warhammer weekend away. It was lovely. Stylus was there. You want to go already? Okay. Leave. Go. Thank you. And a few other people were there. Stylus, are you sick? I wasn't too bad yesterday, but today it's been a bit rough, a bit achy. I got up late, had a nap on the sofa, that sort of thing. Don't worry, I've got my electrolytes with me. We're good. So that happened. Another exciting thing that happened. This is exciting. I told you guys, I finished the Fulgrim, right? There's 3 Demon Primarchs now. Fulgrim's done. Which means the Emperor's Children project is done. Which means I'm working on some 13th stuff and the other Fulgrim that I need to do. But the Emperor's Children project is done. Need to make a video on the Emperor's Children project. Share that with you guys and why I've got the things I've got. There's the new Defilers, though. We need to talk about the new Defilers as well, because some information has come out about the new Defilers and the Iron Warriors guy and some of the Admech. That's why we're here. We're going to look at that sort of stuff. But yeah, Fulgrim done. Emperor's Children project done. It's very exciting. Have you guys finished the project? Like, it's nice when a whole project, not just a miniature, but a whole project, because infinite possibilities open up. Which army is the new Defiler going into when it hits the shelves? I see the Emperor's Children don't have any shooty. So the new Defiler has to go in the Emperor's Children. I need a couple to go in the Emperor's Children because they've got a Land Raider and a bunch of Noise Marines, and that's all the gun in the entire codex, apart from some bolters and apart from some infantry running around with some. It needs to go in the Emperor's Children. The Death Guard have got lots of shooty, and I don't have World Eaters, but Alex has got World Eaters and they live here, so I don't need one. And then Magnus and the Thousand Suns, never heard of him. Never heard of him. It's not time to start a Demons project, no. No. You've been grinding away on 10 points of Ynnari. 10k points of Ynnari. Well done, Cersei the Cat. Absolutely legend. Joseph Troom has dropped to tenner. Thank you so much. Tenner. Dose yourself up. Tenner. Just like that. I got the electrolytes. I've had a paracetamol. I've got some of these vitamin C tablets. I would go to the shops and get some, like, but it's sporadic out there. It is like, it's bad. It's bad out there. No hobby progress. Let your legend. Thank you, Joseph Troom. Thank you. Can we get GGs in the chat for Joseph? Stuart Fields, you're in Land Down Under. You get away with not doing anything. Mrs. Axefist has decided to join me while I paint and listen to your wisdom. No, don't do that, Mrs. Axefist. Listen, Sven Frank, when he's painting away, he's in a very specific zone. Okay? What you need to do for Frank, Mrs. Axefist, is immediately nice cup of tea, okay? Milk, 2 sugars, builder's brew, and maybe a couple of digestives. Maybe a hobnob. You throw the boat out. Okay, throw the boat out, and then put the baby in the boat in the bath. There's this thing about, but no, don't ignore that bit. Push the boat out. That's what I wanted to say, and get some chocolate coated hobnobs with his milk, 2 sugar tea. He'll love you for. He'll remember that. He'll remember the time when he was painting away, and suddenly his wonderful wife walked in and just put down some tea and some hobnobs and left, and he'll talk about it. Thank you, Cersei the Cat, for the $2 donation as well. Thank you. Can we get some GGs in the chat for Cersei as well? Thank you, guys. Thanks for showing up. I didn't know if I was going to show up this evening, but I wanted to show up. I wanted to chat. I wanted to be here. It's a bit. We're good. Teo is in the house. Tazanara is flown in all the way from Japan. How we doing? Biscuit talk, is it? No. Listen. Mrs. Axefist has decided to join Mr. Axefist to listen to the Pearls of Wisdom. The Pearls of Wisdom which get spoken about from this pearly face here. Here's some wisdom. Here's some wisdom for you. Don't eat green. Green isn't a good colour. Okay, brown's a nice colour to eat, right? Red's good. Tomatoes and lots of ice creams are red. Blue is okay. White is okay. Potatoes and things. But green things tend to be mouldy or vegetables. Stay away from them. They'll kill you. Those are the things that my food eats. I don't eat the food that my food eats. I eat my food. Green is not good for you. There's some wisdom. There is some wisdom for you. I'll give you another one. Here's another dose of wisdom. Generally speaking, stay away from the north. As a general rule, just don't go north. It's not. There we go. You can eat purple. Purple's allowed. Mrs. Axfist has just bought me chocolate. Absolutely, she's lovely. She's a lovely lady. Look, she's bringing you chocolate, listening to the thing. She's not going to cook anything green going forward. Just more chocolate and alcohol. That's all we need. Yes, you can eat purple. Everything's good. Teo, I had a great weekend, and Styler, it was good. I'm a bit wrecked now. Yesterday I was a bit wobbly, but today I'm a bit wobbly. Green grapes. What about green grapes? I'll allow grapes. Grapes are very sugary and fruity. We can eat green grapes. They're not proper green. They're not like kale, you know. Grapes are nice. Also, you can with the pips. There's a whole motion. There's a whole thing to the grapes thing. It's I like a pear or a green apple. No, you don't. No, you don't like a pear or a green apple. And from the north, you don't want a pear or green. No. If you have to eat fruit, the best way to eat fruit is to take the fruit that you were going to eat, stick it in a smoothie, blend it all up with some milk, and then throw that in the trash and have some biscuits instead. That's the best way to have green food, particularly fruit. We don't do fruit. Fruit will kill you. Anyway, right, so that's happened. Fulgrim, that's what I was going to say. Yes, guys, lock in. Listen, tomorrow, first battle report with Fulgrim in it. Fulgrim versus the Guard. We've got Emperor's Children led. The Echoes of Ecstasy led by Fulgrim himself. Rolling into this battle grid. Nice narrative game. 2,000 point game for the tier 3 channel members and above that have access to every single Witness Wednesday video. That's coming out tomorrow. And then on Sunday there's Orcs. And you might say Orcs versus what? No, it's just Orcs. It's just Orcs versus Orcs versus Orcs. There's lots of boys. But the way I see with the Orc versus Orc battle report is there's already been a battle and the Orcs won. And it was over on that battle grid over there. And now they've come back to this battle grid over here and they're still fighting. Why stop fighting when the enemy's dead? Why not keep going? Fantastic Orc versus Orc one coming up at the weekend. Hope you like it. Fruit is excellent in chocolate. It is not. No, fruit is not excellent in chocolate. Basically, fruit is a hate crime. It should be. We need to talk to Geneva or Convention. One of them. I don't know who Convention is or where. If any one of you guys know where Geneva is, we need to track her down and say, like, fruit, you need to put that one on your list. Orcs, that's a lot of green. It's a lot of orcs. It's a lot of boys. And then there's a big stomper in it, a giant stomp. There's a giant squig off in it. There's lots of knobs all over the table, Teo. You wouldn't believe the number of knobs over the table on Sunday. I wonder what Mrs. Axfist thinks when we're talking about putting knobs on the table. We put a lot of Mrs. Axfist knobs. We put lots and lots of knobs on the table. We played with those knobs. We played with them hard. It's part of the hobby. Your husband does that too. Touches a lot of knobs. I know the Emperor's Children never lose, so that video is... The Emperor's Children have been doing really well since I put demons in them. Since I put a demon up them, the Emperor's Children beforehand, granted, it was a rough start with the Echoes of Ecstasy, okay? Rough start, but I don't think they've lost for at least 3 years now. They're going really well. And they're in my hands. They're in the 2026 King in the North second place champion hands. So they're doing well. Hobnobs? What do you mean hobnobs? Hobnobs because of all the knobs. Yes, exactly. That's what's going on there. Hobnobs. Lots of hobnobs. Okay. Right. We need to look at some of the new reveals. Hang about. I need to do this. There's probably a way to mute this somewhere. There is actually that button that says mute, but this is a lot more professional. You know what I mean? This is better, I think. This is raw, unfiltered, in the flesh. What did you add to the 13th? Well, I never had some Blade Guard. We got some Blade Guard. I'm building some tanks. I don't even know where they are. Where did I put the tanks? I'm building some tanks. And then Monkey Monkey did this. I've got to do the bases and bash them up a bit. But I never had any Brutalis for the 13th. So now I just need to battle damage them, like 13 them up and do the bases. And then I've got 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts. I've got this idea of a list in my head where it's 2 Redempted Dreadnoughts, 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts, 2 Warsuits just going dunk. And then backing them up is quite a few tanks. I'm doing more tanks, more repulse, more. In the Primaris contingent of the 13th, there isn't many vehicles. It was time to add to the vehicles. The intention is to get the vehicle pool treble, quadruple times the size in time for 11th edition. So I've got, Space Marines always one of my favourite armies to play, 13th in particular. So I've got lots of more things to do. Play with when the thing. That's what we did. Right, okay. You ready? Hobnobs. There are no knobs under the table. What do you mean knobs? Knobs under the... Yes, Teo. I know which new rules I am liking, and it's not the Destria. Yeah. We're going to check out some of the rules. Thank you, Stuart, for bringing us back on target. We're going to do this. Okay, we are going to try and look at some of the things. All right, so hold on to your pants and tell me whether this comes through. I pressed that one, just that one. Hello, the Bobbins. We are looking at Eye of Terror, new rules for Imperial Knights and Adeptus Mechanicus, Thulia Ghuld. And if we press no, that's the wrong way. That's the zoom in button. Thulia Ghuld. Ghuld. How do you say Thulia Ghuld? Is all about one thing: destruction. Her heavily augmented body is as durable as that as the legendary Belisarius Call, and her weapons can easily punch holes in outrageously tough heretics. Thulia Ghuld is toughness 8 with 10 wounds and a 2-up save and a 4-up in bun. Toughness 8 with 10 wounds. So as many wounds as a goddamn rhino. And only 1 less toughness than a goddamn rhino. And a better save and an in bun. Okay, so Thulia Ghuld, that little model there, rhino. I want you to think of rhino when you think of the Ghuld. I think they really want to sell some models. We're zooming in more. What be the rules for Ghuld? No, that's too far. That way. How about that? No. Okay, we have to work with it. We're working with this. Rod of the Warforge. In your command phase, select one of the abilities in the icon of war section. See next page until the start of your next command. Okay, right. Mechanicus bodyguard. While this model is within 3 inches of one other friendly... Lone op. Okay. Cybernetic augmentation. This model can move through terrain features but cannot end within a wall. Okay, can move through stuff. At the start of your shooting phase, select one enemy vehicle unit within 12 and roll a d6 on a 2. It suffers d3 plus 1 mortal wounds. Jackus Woods, can't stay. Good health to you and everyone. Thank you for dropping a donation. Can we get some GGs in the chat to Jackus Woods? Thanks for swinging by. Thanks for the donation. I appreciate you, buddy. Catch this up on the VOD. Do the VOD screen after the VOD. Right, back to... Thank you. Have a great evening. Back to the screen share. So we've got, 10 wounds, 2-up save, 8. That's tough. Very, very tough. And doing mortal wounds to a vehicle within 12. I mean, that's nice. D3 plus 1 is more than usual. Normally it's just a D3, so this is a D3 plus 1, but it's only to vehicles, and there's many cases where someone might not bring any vehicles along, particularly if you're playing against Tyranids, things like that. 6 attacks, it's strength 10, minus 2, 3 damage, or 12 attack. 12 attacks? That's 6, 1 and 1. Okay, alright, fine. And then the gun... Jericho class conversion resonator can be fired in one of 2 ways. 2 shots at d6 plus 2 and d6 plus 2 shots at, okay. So this is quite a chunky thing. Thulia Ghuld is quite a tank and quite punchy in close combat and quite shooty as well. Okay, you're looking at a 200 point model there at least 200 points. Right, let's carry on down. We're going to Hastari's mini primarch stat line. You're not wrong, Asurora. Yeah, mini, it's very... I mean, let's face it. You've got Belisarius Cawl, who is a hench. He's a bit of a hench. But apart from Cawl, where is the other named character, HQ, Admech character? There isn't one. There isn't one. So now they've stuck another one in. And then maybe in another 15 years, we'll get a third one. And then there'll be 3 of them. But that one looks quite good. I like the look of that. And then let's look at the Hastarii. Hastarii. The heavily armoured defensive. One of 2 unit exterminators of Fusiliers. Okay, let's have a look at exterminators. Let's zoom in. It actually zooms. Exterminators. Hastarii Arc Blaster. Oh, let's go up. Let's go up first. We need to see the stat line. Okay, so toughness 4 with 2 wounds. So Space Marine. Toughness 4, 2 wounds, threat save 5 of 1. Space Marine stat line, but slower. Space Marine stat line, but slower, with 1 attack with a close combat weapon or 2 attacks with a power weapon, and that will probably be the Sergeant equivalent. So Space Marine stat line that can't fight is only shooting. A whole unit of intercessors. How many points is a whole unit of intercessors these days? 170 points, 160 points. So you'd expect a unit of the 10 of these to be maybe 100 points because they can't punch. Anti-vehicle 4+ devastating wounds. Ooh, that's quite good. So that's 1 shot. Hitting on a 4. Remember, you can put the ballistic skill up or down because Admech do Admech things. So hitting on a 4, probably a 3. And then on 4s to wound, no save against vehicles. You don't even need to worry about the AP. It's devastating. So 1 shot, 10 of them shooting. You're looking at 6, 7 hits, 3 of them wounding, 4 to 6 damage with 1 unit. And then these are anti-infantry. So that's an anti-infantry shot at 30-inch range or an anti-infantry shot at 15-inch range. And that's this gun here. That'll be the Eradication Caster. And that'll be the Arc Blaster. The Hastarii Arc Blaster is the one up there. Because that's an Arc weaponry. Arc weaponry. Wrath of Constantine, I hope you enjoyed your new job. Welcome to the... Wrath of Constantine, welcome to the live stream. What's the new job? You're still building bridges? And congratulations on that. Yeah, so that's the Exterminators. Each time model in this unit makes an attack with an Eradication Caster that targets and a unit excluding monster with that attack is sustained hits 1. Okay. Okay. So when they're shooting at infantry, sustained 1. And then there's ways to modify that as well with anti-infantry 4 up. So hitting on 4s, probably 3s because they've been buffed. It is strength 5 -1 or strength 5 -2 with anti-infantry 4 up. You're never going to need anti-infantry 4 up unless you're shooting at Gravis because most infantry is toughness 5 or less. So you don't really need it. Okay, so that's what they do. Space Marines with... Yeah, they're shooty Space Marines. Okay, right. Shooty Space Marine type stuff. Let's have a look at the Fusiliers. Come the other way. Right, same stat line up here. I don't think I can zoom in because it will go over to the side if I zoom. See, look, it doesn't... Yeah. Right, ignore the zoom. We're not zooming. We're going to get to the night in a minute. We're going to get to the night in a minute. What do these guys do? Morne, each time a model in this unit makes an attack with a neutron fusel against a monster or vehicle, that attack ignores cover. Okay, so when they shoot at monsters or vehicle... So the Exterminators are meant to be shooting infantry. The Fusiliers are supposed to be shooting monsters or vehicles. And let's see what their gun is. A 1-shot. Strength 12. -3. D6 +1 damage. Of course, they're shooting monsters or vehicles. With ignores cover. That's a pretty good gun. 24-inch range. Pretty good gun. I mean, that is a las cannon, isn't it? Strength 12 minus 3, d6 plus 1 damage. That's a las cannon. Neutron fusel. That looks like a las cannon. They're shooting 24-inch range las cannons. And then they've got a phosphor pistol on the shoulder there for ignores cover. Okay. So there's an anti-tank and an anti-infantry one. Given their stat line and given the fact that they can't fight in close combat, I would expect the exterminators to be somewhere in the region of 100 to 110 points. I'd expect the fusiliers with their stat line to be somewhere in the region of 150, 160 points. What do we think, guys? The anti-infantry exterminators, 100, 110? Seems reasonable. Fusiliers. I mean, hitting on a 4, which is going to be hitting on a 3. But all of them with las cannons. 10 of them shooting strength 12, minus 3, d6 plus 1 damage. That is screwing people up. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And interestingly, Admech, they've got lots of big guns, but they actually haven't got a lot of really big guns like some armies do. Like they've got the neutron laser, right? And then there's some las cannons on the robot chickens. But if you think about their true anti-tank weaponry, they rely on a lot of arc technology. They rely on a lot of the actual high strength 12, minus 3, d6 plus 1 damage, las. There isn't a lot of anti-tank in the Admech book. There is anti-tank. There is definitely anti-tank in the anti-tank book, but you'd expect there to be more. It's like in the Guard book. You look at the Imperial Guard, there's a lot of anti-tank in the Imperial Guard book. There's melters, there's Vanquisher cannons, there's Bane blades, there's Rogel Dawns, there's half of the units in the Guard book are anti-tank because they're tanks. It's good. We like it. You'd expect there to be something similar in the Admech book. But no, they're few and far between. So having a unit walking around on field with las cannons, I think that's quite cheeky. I like it. It's hard to care about new stat lines. No, it's all likely to get thrown out the window in a few months' time. Preach! It's 80 for the Trawling Cleaner says it's 80 points for the anti-infantry and 100 points for the anti-tank. 100 points for the anti-tank unit. This is why, I don't know if you guys saw the STC that I did where we calmly and professionally ranked every single 10th edition Warhammer 40k codex. But in that, this is why the Hastarii, this is why the Admech are so expensive. They're the most expensive thing to get in real world money. It's because the Hastarii Fusilier is 100 points. Wow, you're going to get 3 real world money buying Admech. You need to sell your kidneys and a liver born child. It's so expensive. The points are so low. So low. Right, we're going to have a look at let's have a look at the knight. Let's zoom down on this. The thing on the thing. We'll look at the knight. Right, let's screen share. That's my guess. It's your guess. All right, yeah, I'm going for 100 and 150. You're going for 80 and 100. Trawling Cleaner, come back to a live stream near you where we can confirm who was writerer. Phanto Sir has been a member for 8 months. Thank you for your service. With imminent reveals at Adepticon, Guard, Orcs, Blood Angels, could we see the return of allied armies? I've always thought, look, Imperial Agents is an allied book. There should be 3 allied books. There should be a Chaos allied book. There should be an Eldar allied book. There should be an Imperial Agents allied book. If they want to go the book route. But if not, it should be in the main rule book. If you want to chuck in a few things here, chuck in a few things there to spice up your thing, you can. Go for it. I didn't see any problem with that at all. But it's Allies chart isn't something they've done in 40k since like 8th, is it? Did they even do it in 9th? I'm not sure. What would you do to fix Admech, and do you miss them in 40k? Yes and yes. First thing I'd do is allow Admech to hoard again. Guard can hoard. I want to hoard. I want big blobs if I want the ability. If you want big blobs, I cannot lie. You should have big blobs. Admech should have 20-man squads of Rangers and Vanguard. They should have big squad of Cat from Beaches, things like that. The other thing they need to do is, it's turned into a finesse army where you have, not only you just have the army rules which change, and then the strats which change, and then you add a thing to make that thing better. They've also got interlocking. I would simplify it a bit and make it feel more Admech-y again. It needs to have squadrons. You need to be able to bring 3 Onager Dune Crawlers in a squadron, or 3 robot chickens in a squadron. In the same way you can bring robots in a squadron. You need to be able to hoard up the big stuff, medium stuff, and the small size stuff if you want to. So you've got this wave crashing across the battlefield with less interlocking pieces. That's what I'd like to see with Admech. Start there. That'd be lovely. Make allies great again. Right, let's go to the screen share. This is the new Knight Destria, and I do like his helmet. Look at that. I do like a nice helmet. Look at that one. That is a proper knightly helmet, that, with a rocket-powered spear. That, you know, and the feet. That's a cute-looking model. Okay, that's a good-looking model. It's a good-looking model. We like that one. It's a cross between the Questeros level knights and the Armiger level knights. This is a good-looking model. Mind you, all the knights models are. All of them. Chaos Knights and the Baby Knights. They're all good-looking models. Knight Destria. Moves 12 at toughness 10. So Baby Knights now are toughness 9. Big Knights, Questoris Knights are toughness 11, 9. So now you've got a 9, 10, 11. With 18 wounds and a 3-up save. Right, toughness 10, 18 wounds and a 3-up save is a greater demon of Slaanesh. That's Keeper of Secrets. Stat line right there. Or a big bug in like a T-Fex, something similar in Tyranids. Toughness 10, 5-up and that isn't. It's going to go. You can sneeze in its general direction and put it down. You can sneeze in it. See, look at the helmet again. Look at the helmet. Great helmet. Great helmet. But the way to run knights is to run really big uns that takes you a while to put them down, or run like 9 little ones so you overkill each little one as you go. This hits that sweet spot. Mind you, the rules will be broken. Let's check out the new rules. So, ramjets. Each time this unit is selected to make a normal or advanced move, add D3. Brilliant. Thunder charge. If this model is equipped with a thunder shock spear, it has lance, so you're taking that one. And a chainsword, add 2 to the attacks characteristics. Okay, right. So you can have the spear and the chainsword attacks for extra attacks. Saturation fire. Each time this model makes a ranged attack that targets a unit within range of 1 or more objectives. That's not so great. But yeah, when you normal or advanced move, add D3. So its move is 12 plus D3. Each time it's selected to do a normal move, basically 12, only 12 when it's falling back. But it's doing a normal move, it's 12 plus D3, 12 plus D3, 12 plus DV. And if you're advancing, it's going to be 12 plus D3 plus 2D6. So it's quite swift. Let's have a look at these 2 weapons then. You can have 5 or 10 attacks at this stat line, or 4 and 8 attacks at this stat line. The stat lines are very similar. So the chainsword has got more attacks and a better profile than the thunder shock spear, which has got less attacks, 1 attack at the big thing and 2 less attacks at the bottom thing. But the AP is better and it has lance. So given the choice between more attacks with a chainsword or less attacks with a lancing spear, you're probably bringing the lancing spear because of lance. If you want to stick that into the side of a tank, unless it's toughness 12 or more, you're always going to be wounding it on 2s. Something like toughness 11 or less, you're always going to be wounding on 2s, which means it's going to be really hurting. And then if you really want to go and punch tanks, you can have 2 of them running around together. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Evening the Eternal Crusader. Evening. Double melee weapons is the way to go. If you're running them as World Eaters, why are you not running W? Add 2 to the attack scatter of melee weapons equipped by this model. So you're looking at adding 2 to each of these. You're losing the gun, and you're getting 2. So we have a 12 shot, strength 6, -1, 2 damage, anti-infantry gun. But it's only -1. But it is 12 shots, and it is assault, so you can charge and shoot. Or frag bombard. Rapid fire D6 +3. Yes, please. So in 12-inch range, that is 2d6 plus 6 shots in 12-inch range, and it's assault, and it's blast. Yeah, I'm taking that one. Strength 7, -1, 2 damage, and it's a higher strength as well. Yeah, I'm taking that one. 2d6 plus 6 shots with blast. And then it's got heavy stubber. Okay. The guns aren't great, are they? The guns are anti-infantry, anti-elite guns. They're not anti-tank guns. You are not using Knight Destrias to take down tanks unless you're putting 2 close combat weapons on them and charging them at tanks. Does this benefit from the bondsman abilities, or is that just armigers? They will benefit from bondsman abilities as well. It should say something down here. At the start of the edition, everyone... It doesn't get bondsman. What? At the start of the edition, everything got bondsman. And they changed it to say Questorius didn't even... Just on the little ones. But with a character, actually, yeah, it's not going to be a bondsman. It's not going to be... It's going to be running around on its own. It's going to be running around on its own. Just armigers because of the character thing. Yes. That is a lot of shots. But anti-infantry shots. Imperial Knights. You know, I said there's not a lot of anti-tank guns in the Admech. And you'd expect more. Imperial Knights, there's not a lot of anti-tank weaponry in there. If you think about that Magnum Melter Blaster on the, what's it called? Damn it. The one with the melter. That's a pretty good anti-tank. And the Thunder Coil Harpoon, that's a pretty good... But a rapid fire blast cannon, battle cannon thing, it's strength 10, -1, 3 damage. -1, 3 damage, and its strength... It struggles against tanks. Paladins struggle against tanks. Crusaders struggle against tanks. The best anti-tank weaponry is Armiger War Dogs running around with Melter Lancers. They're the best anti-tank weaponry that you have. Or punching them. Or running up with your chainsword and hitting them. Knights have historically and still suffer against other knight forces. They have to get in combat to punch them. Shooting them at range isn't what they're good at. And the Destria doesn't change any of that. That Chastisizer Gatling Cannon, strength 6, -1, 2 damage. It is 12 shots, but it's infantry. And the Frag Bombard, strength 7, -1, 2 damage. It's an infantry killer. 2 infantry killers. But, yeah. So it's more infantry killing things. Let's see it. But it's got to look at the helmet. Look at that helmet, though. As far as helmets go, on the scale of 1 to helmet, that is a glorious helmet. And this helmet, look at those helmets. That's a lovely helmet. We do like that. It's a nice model. Where does it sit? Where do you guys think it sits in the Imperial Knight range, though? You know what I mean? What is it? What are you getting it for? I'm trying to scroll to the thing with a thing. What are we getting a Destria for? Like, is there anyone who runs knights or goes against knights? I'm just... I mean, I'm getting it because it looks cool. Okay? I've got all the knights. I love my knights. Knights are a great kit to put together. They're a great kit to paint. I like knights. And I think I'll get one of them. Because I don't know where it fits. Just because it's pretty. Exactly, Fanto. It's tougher than an armiger, I suppose. And it's not a big knight by any stretch. No, it's not a big knight. And it's tougher than an armiger. You could run round. I don't know. There might be something in running around with Armigers with Destrias instead of Armigers with Questoras. There's a list in there somewhere. There's probably a list in there somewhere. And then after a few balanced data slates, there'll definitely be a list in there somewhere. It looks pretty, but I don't know. I don't know where it fits. You know? Other than more night. And that's good. More night is good. And then they'll do a chaos version. You know that if they've got this, an imperial version, in 3 months' time, chaos players will get a knight for them as well. I've got chaos and imperial knights. The only reason I get the Destria is because I love my lancer so much. It's like his little buddy. Oh, Stuart, you're not wrong there, actually. Having a Destria run around with a knight lancer, it'll look like half the size. I'll keep up with you, Daddy. I'll keep up with you. And you got the lancer down. I've got free tank shock. Look at me go. And I've actually got a 4-up invulnerable saving, close combat, and all the time. I'm the only knight that has... I'll get behind me, little buddy. And he's lancing. And the Destria is like, no, Daddy, help me, help me. And there's a whole Lancer and Destria TV series that will happen. And you'll follow the comings and goings and the craziness and the shenanigans that Lancer and Destria get up to as they look for a job and pay taxes and learn to pass their driving test. It'll be a fantastic series there. Someone should... This is multi-million ideas that I'm giving Games Workshop here for free. Okay, it's a good job they don't watch any of this shit, because otherwise Lancer and Destria will take over the world. Okay, watching them going fishing together. Have you packed the tuna sandwiches? No, because we're going to catch the tuna. I've just brought bread and butter. Oh, but we're not tuna fishing today. This is a freshwater lake. Oh, Lancer. Oh, Destria. You can imagine the hijinks they get up to. It'd be hilarious. Damn, you took that and ran with it. Thanks. Right, let's take a look. Kravek Morne. Okay, there is a new Iron Warrior guy. We are going to check out his shizzle. This is the shizzle. This is the big man leading the whole operation into the Eye of Terror. He's got a monstrous thunderhammer. Not just a thunderhammer, but a monstrous thunderhammer, and it's got a name. The Last Argument. Actually, that's a really good name for a thunderhammer. Props to whoever came up with that idea. And a power fist. Sometimes you need a hammer and a fist. Sometimes a fist just isn't enough. Sometimes you need a hammer and a fist. He's toughness 5 with a 2-up save, 4-up invuln, for 6 wounds. So standard stats. I would have liked to have seen him with 7 wounds. Yeah. There's like... Who's the Hammer of Flame guy? Grey Knight guy. He's got 7 wounds. Grey Knight Grandmaster's 7 wounds. There's some chunky Grey Knights out there with 7 wounds. And this model, the Kravek Morne model, is incredible. He's a chunky lad. Let's go up. It doesn't want to scroll while I'm YouTubing at this. It doesn't want to... Okay, no, that's the Mutilator. No. Right, we can't get a close... Is he down? Is he down? We're going down. He's not down. But he's a chonky boy, so it would have been nice to see him get 7 wounds or more wounds or things, or bigger wounds, okay? More wounds would have been good. Let's zoom in. He's got deep strike. He's a leader. And let's have a look at his melee weapons. So Last Argument and Power Fist, devastating wounds, 7 attacks, 2... Oh, that's just nice. That's just nice. Oh, that's nice and simple. Hitting on 2s at strength 10, -2, 2 damage, devastating. Any 6s to wound, they're just ignoring the things. Can you imagine this guy with Veterans of the Long War? Or you can imagine this guy with a nice Dark Pact going on with lethal and sustained. I just got 7 dice. Strength 10, -2, 2 damage. Servo harness, extra attacks, anti-vehicle. That's a nice little tickle in the tail. Nice little tickle in the tail. I'd like to see Tech Marine servo harnesses for Space Marines do a similar thing. Bale Flamer, he's got a Bale Flamer. Bale Flamer, it's a Flamer, 2 damage Flamer, and Rue has come in off the top rope with 5 gifted memberships. Thanks, Rue. Thanks for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate you, buddy. Can we get some GGs in the chat for Rue? Some GGs in the chat for Rue. Thanks, Rue. Has Boulders fixed his hammer yet? No. Poor Vashdor is still looking sadly. Yes. Vashdor's hammer needs to be a better hammer. But yeah, Rue, GGs, Rue, GGs. Back to the screen share. Headlong destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets the closest eligible enemy unit. AP Bill 1. That is really good. So in close combat, he's not strength 10 minus 2, 2 damage. He's strength 10 minus 3, 2 damage. And it's like each time a model in this unit. That's nice. Ooh. Ooh. You know what I'm seeing there? I'm seeing 11th edition. How many times, guys? How many times has this ever happened to you? One's in the chat as if this happened to you. You've got a guy leading a unit, and then the unit dies, and the guy leading the unit forgot what they were doing. I've got Captain Kool-Aid here, and he's an ultra uber bad guy, and he gives me reroll 1s to wound, and then he forgets to give you reroll 1s to wound when the unit is dead. How many times has that happened? I'm putting like 8 1s in the chat right now because that's happened to me all the way through 10th edition. I need to check this rule to see if he can still do his thing when he's leading a unit or when he's not leading a unit. But in the case of Craven, it just simply says this: headlong destruction. Each time a model in this unit makes an attack that targets the closest, AP +1. Each time a model in this unit. So that means he's a model in the unit, and whoever he's attached with, whenever he's attached to them, all the time, they get +1 AP. See, there's a few GGs. There's a few 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s. And Rue has dropped another 5 gifted memberships because he's an absolute leg end. Thank you, Rue. You absolute leg end. GGs. Thank you. Am I screen sharing? Hopefully they change that for 11th, as it makes no sense to stop when a unit dies. Exactly, Alan Godfrey. Exactly. Always happens with my Death Guard characters. Exactly, Krusty Kurd. Aren't they just yelling at people to buff them? And it'd be weird if he was just yelling at himself. Is he, though? Is he yelling at people to get that +1 AP? Or is it more of the skillful way that he's leading people? Like, look at me lead people. You'll lead this, inspired by. Is it yelling? It's just simpler. It's just simpler. Like, this is what this guy does. And when people attach to the guy, they can do it too. And when people leave the guy, he still does this. I want simple. Simple is good. It's also easier to point for, easier to cost, easier to balance those things, he says. Right, that's Craven. Screen share. Press the thing. Like to see characters join other units if theirs is slain in 11th edition. 100% agree with you, buddy. There is a stratagem that Custodians can do in one of their detachments where if there's a shield captain, if someone's attached to a unit and the unit dies, you can spend a CP reattaching that character to a unit that they're eligible to attach to. So Custodians can do it. Custodians can rejoin other units. Custodians characters when they're... Yeah. That stratagem, I think, should be in the main rulebook. That should be a free... Like a reroll, like Insane Bravery, like something like that. Captains, the unit dies and there's a captain stood there and there's a unit of intercessors over there, there's a unit of hellblasters over there. He's not going to like, no, you go on without me, lads. Just, I'm a sniper's dream. I'm going to stand here, don't worry, you go on without me. He's not going to say that. He's going to be, right, the snipers out there, they're going to shoot you in the face before they shoot me. I'm joining you now. That should be in the main rule book. So I hope to see, that's one of the things. People often ask me, hey, what do you want to see in 11th? I want to see that. I want to see that in 11th. Right, screen share. Let's get to the end of Kravek Morne. Architect of Ruin. At the start of the battle, select one unit in your opponent's army to be this model's hated foe. Each time the model makes an attack that targets this hated foe, you can reroll the wound roll. Each time this model hated foe is destroyed, you can select... Okay, so Shalaxi Hellblade's got an ability like that. There's a couple of people in 40k right now who have this. I have ran characters who have these abilities, and sometimes it comes up. It's not exactly something that you can plan for, because you have to tell your enemy, select one unit in your opponent's army to be this model's hated flow. You can't exactly not tell your opponent, because, oh no, I'm not telling you who the hated flow is, and then you kill a squig, and you're like, right, that was the hated flow. And then I'm not telling you who the next hated foe is, and then you kill an orc boy, and that was the hated foe. You have to tell them, so your opponent can do something about it if they want to. There's a few characters that can do this. This one's got it. I like it. Nice, simple, not broken. I do like his hammer and power fist. I do like that ability, and I hope this is a sign of things to come. It's a great idea, especially for Eric heroes like that. Yeah, like Azrael and other characters that have rules, and the unit that they're in die, and then Azrael should be able to join other units. I hope that hint of Kravek Morne's rules there. This is what this guy does, and the unit. Yes, we're all in agreement. We're all in agreement that that one's a good idea, and we want to see more of that. We want to see more of that. Right, next up. Last time I showed you guys these, you were a bit meh. I like these. I think they look very, very cool. Very chaosy. I like the fact that there's a lot of armor on them. I like them. They look like turbo chonky Terminators, which is what they should look like. Mutilators. Only move 5. What do you mean on the sill on the side of meh? Look at them. Look at them. Mutilators. Mutilators. What do you mean meh? Inshin, welcome to the chat. Listen, if you had to pick one of these, are you putting the big claws on there? Are you doing the double chain fist? I mean, whatever this is, look at this. This is some Hellraiser shit right here. This is like some head thing with some blades. No, what is that? That's just literally its stump. That's what that is. It's a pound of flesh with some metal driven through the end. This has got a drill claw like a Big Daddy in BioShock. See? Big Daddy stuff going on. Look, the eye on it and everything. This is good stuff. I like these models. It's not meh. They're definitely really cool. 3 mutilators, okay? Does that mean obliterators? Guys, obliterators, is that you can still only... do they come in their own boxes still? Yet, is what I meant to say, because obliterators for years, the only way to get obliterators were to get them in that combat patrol box with some venom crawlers and some other things. That was the only way to get obliterators. Did they ever release the solo box for obliterators? Because if mutilators are coming in packs of 3, surely obliterators are coming in packs of 3. Sven Dasvix, thanks for the donation. Mrs. Axford says goodbye. Thanks for the wisdom, and here's a contribution to the Jaffa Cake and Orange Hog Club. Dude, thank you. Bye, Mrs. Axfist. 2 to 4 oblits still. No, it's only the Venom Crawler. I ended up making double flesh. No. Okay, right. So it's still 2 to 4 oblits, but mutilators will come in packs of 3. It's interesting, isn't it? Because wouldn't it be nice? I know they'll probably cap it at 3, but wouldn't it be nice if you could bring 3, 6, or 9? Imagine 9 obliterators. 9 obliterators. 9! With 5 wounds. 2 up save. See, they're Terminators. 5 wound Terminators. Toughness 7, 5 wounds. So Death Shroud Terminators, a toughness 7 with 4 wounds, a 2 up and a 4 up, and these are 2 up and 5 up. That 5 wounds is that's a tricksy one there. This is anti-tank weaponry territory we're looking at. Flesh metal weapons. You can either have 2 attacks, which are basically really good las cannon. Strength 12 is a las cannon, but -4 instead of -3 is better than a las cannon. D6 plus 2 is better than D6 plus 1, which is better than a las cannon. And 3 of them will have 6 attacks. Hitting on 3s, strength 12, -4. -4 is It's juicy. These are quite high, like -3 for the anti-elite weaponry. Strength 9, -3, 3 damage. -3 is, I mean, if you haven't got an invulnerable save, that's a 6-up save or death on most things. Gravis, dudes, hitting them on 3s, wounding them on 3, 6-up save, and then this one. Bear in mind that there's a multiple of these coming in, a multiple of these guys coming in, and you're going to have boons on them or veterans of the Long War. Very choppy but hella slow. You're right. Very choppy. They have got deep strike. Hella slow. They are going to be hella slow. You're going to need transport, or you're going to need to deep strike them in and run, or you put 2 units of 3 in the middle of the board and run forward and put them in a ruin somewhere, in an L-shaped ruin, ready to jump out the other side. They are going to be good ambush predators on mid or side objectives. I wonder if they can get in a rhino. They probably can. Not. I'd say they can't, because normally they don't let Terminators go in rhinos, and this looks like a Terminator stat line to me. You can re-roll charge rolls, and each time it makes a charge move, select one enemy unit and roll 1d6 for each model in this unit. On a 4+, oh, okay. So you can re-roll charges for this unit, and they do mortal wound impact. So they're slow, chonky tanks. A blitz can't go in transports. They are combat a blitz. That is exactly what they are. So back in the day, before we had the blitz that you know and love, there were lead mutilators and there were lead obliterators, and they were the same. It's a similar idea, basically the same idea. Mutilators and obliterators are the same thing. And then the Space Marines with demons up them, and some of them manifest guns and go brrr, and some of them manifest the boom, 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 and do that. Mutilators in World Eaters armies, not that that's a thing anymore, but mutilators in World Eaters armies used to go ham, used to go absolutely ham. So slow, chonky, tough Terminators, they are, depending on the points, having a couple of them ready to ambush with re-roll charges and impact hit mortal wounds on the charge. They're nice. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Right, let's finally, love the unit, but I bet there will be some amazing 3D print. Yeah, there's going to be some 3D print alternatives to that one, yeah. Right, where are we? There are proper video, yeah. Right, Defiler. Okay, Defiler. They are great sluggers for the mid-board, the Mutilators, yeah. Defiler. So this is the new Defiler stat line. It is faster, tougher, and more wounds. Games Workshop have released a new model, so let's make it faster, tougher, with more wounds. Okay, toughness 11 with 18 wounds. So earlier on we saw the Destria, the new knight, which was toughness 10 with 18 wounds, and toughness 10 with 18, and the Defiler is tougher and has the same number of wounds and the same save as the Destria with the same move as the Destria. So they're saying the Defiler is tougher than a Destria. And looking at the chunk of the models, yeah, toughness 11 is Questorus Knight toughness. Is Chaos Knight toughness. Okay. And it comes with, what does it come with? Hades Battle Cannon, 2 Execution. One is, okay, it comes with loads of things. This model's heavy bale flamer can be replaced with that. This model's heavy missile launcher can be replaced with this. So you can put las cannons on both sides. You can put Reaper auto cannons on both sides. You can put electro scourges on both sides if you want to. Okay. So you can load it up for shooting or load it out for punching if you want to get rid of the battle cannon and missile launcher. Right. Scuttling Walker. Each time this unit makes a normal advance or fall back, it can move through models excluding Titanic models. Okay? It needs that, to be fair, because this model is so big And its base is so round and roundy that it needs something that allows it to move. Otherwise, it's never going to move down a passageway. It can move through models, and terrain features. Ooh. You can move through models and terrain features. And, okay, so it's, okay, that's actually big. Enemy models, friendly models, terrain features, blah, blah, blah. That's one hell of a... I was about to say they really need something to help it move around on the base it's on. And they've gone way out of the way to make sure it can easily move around wherever little Timmy... Wherever you want to put it, wherever little Timmy wants to put it, wherever I want to put it, it can, so long as it doesn't end up with an inch of an enemy model, boom, it can go there. I like it. Demon Forge. Each time this unit makes a dark pact until the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack, reroll a wound roll of 1. In addition, once per battle, when this unit makes a dark pact, before making the resultant leadership test, you can declare it will overcharge its Demon Forge if it does. If the resultant leadership test is failed, this model suffers D3 wounds. Till the end of the phase, each time this model makes an attack, you can reroll the wound roll. Okay. So Demon Forge. Dark Pacts are back. Dark Pacts are a detachment in the Chaos Space Marine book. But they've said that you can get the Defilers in all of the factions. So that's what they've got there. Dark Pacts, the ability to reroll wound rolls of 1 or reroll all wounds. In close combat, strike mode, strength 16, -3, d6 +1. Shearing claws, not great. Electro surge, extra attack, sustained hits 2 is 5 attack strength, 12 -2. Okay, so in close combat, that is scary. You're bringing the shearing claws. Is there a way to get rid of the shearing claws or something? Hades back, kind of 2, 1 shearing claws. This model's missile launch. You keep the shearing claws. This model's Hades battle cannon. This model's execution cannon. So you keep the shearing claws no matter what. 1 shearing claws. Battle cannon. No. Executioner cannons. 2 no. Model spell. No. Okay, so you've always got the shearing claws, no matter what flavor, which is good because I like them shearing claws. And then Electro Scourge. 1 Electro Scourge, 1 Electro Scourge. So you can have shearing claws on it and then drop a Bale Flamer for an Electro Scourge and drop a missile launcher for an Electro Scourge, and then you'll have 10 extra attacks. 10? Is that right? Electro Squad. 1 Electro Scourge. A model cannot be equipped with more than 1. Okay, they saw me coming. They went, no, you're not going to get 10 extra attacks. We're going to stick it with 5 extra attacks. Okay, so you can drop some of the shooty and make it a bit more punchy and go from, and give yourself +5 attack. Strength 12, -2. 2 damage. It's, I mean, moving 12 at tough, that's, Okay, this Defiler's good. Defiler's really good. Hades Battle Cannon, we know what that does. Electroplasm, this is a new newish. D6, just... Look at that. D6. That's not great. You're going to roll a 1 all the time. You're going to roll a 1. Electroplasma Destructor is a 1 and a 1 and a 1. I just know it. Executioner Cannon. Strength 6 minus... No. Magma Cutter's Melter 2. Because it can take a couple of them. Yeah, here. Execrubra can be replaced with 2 magma cutters. Execrubra. It comes with 2 executioner How do you say that? Excrucive. I can't. How do you say this? I don't know. Anyway, you can have 2 of them, or you can have 2 magna cutters. 2 execution cannons. No, we're not going with that. At strength 6 -1, 2 damage. We're going with the magna cutters. Definitely. It's only 12-inch range. But actually, it's still 12 shots, though. It's still 12 shots. And they're the ones on the Venom. So they're not bad. Okay, I don't know. Heavy Blade Flamer, Heavy Reaper Autocannon, Heavy... yeah, okay. All the guns aren't... Right, what are we taking? Hades Battle Cannon, 2 Executioner Cannons. Look, it's just on its basic loadout. The basic way it's loaded out, a basic bitch, Defiler. Ooh, that's going to shoot, that's going to punch. It can move wherever it wants through terrain features. Its knight territory stat line, you're looking at, I want to say 240 points for one of these. But that 18 wounds, I'm going to say 260 points. Anything under 260 points is a steal for this. Because this is better Dreadnought. This is better Redemptor Dreadnought, Brutalis Dreadnought stat line up here. Basic stat line. And it can punch, and it can... So it's tougher than a Dreadnought, but yeah. I'm looking at 250. But think about it. Defilers and Thralls are World Eaters going... Yeah, exactly. That's why each of the 4 Chaos Legions that have their own codexes get their own special Defiler that replaces the Demon Forge ability with something... Okay. So the Demon Forge ability is for Chaos Space Marines. And then if you have a Chaos Legion, then you're going to get something else. So take the Thousand Suns Defiler, for example. The Prescient Powers of... Okay, let's have a look. There's Barrage of Filth. In your shooting phase, after the follow, select one enemy unit. Hit until the other have benefit. Okay. So these are the things. Fire over. So that's what they've got. That's it. That's it. We've done the things. We've done the things. We've done the things. You should be back. What do we think? Defilers. Toughness 11. 18 wounds. A Land Raider's only got 16 wounds. That's Rogal Dawn. 18 wounds. I think that's more wounds than most Demon Primarchs. I think they come in at 16 wounds. Defilers are good. The stat line for Mutilator's slow, but not... So we looked at the Skitarii troops. We looked at Mutilators. We looked at Defilers. Out of all of them, I'm liking Defilers a lot. But you can one-shot them at 18 wound, toughness 11. Yeah, I mean, it's like taking down a knight. Taking down a Defiler would be like taking down a knight. You can do it. We know we can. But they'll stack. Like if you have a couple of Defilers and a couple of... They'll stack quite well. That'll be a thing. But those Mutilator rules look nice. They only move 5, but reroll all charges with impact hits on the charge with 5 wounds. They look very nice. And then the Skitarii... Yeah. The Skitarii don't make me want to run out and get the Skitarii. The Fusiliers or Hastarii or whatever they are. And it is definitely a part of the Admech codex that's been missing for a long time. Like these heavy foot infantry guys. That's been missing. We need them, and they're finally here after 15 years. And I don't want to rush out and get them, because the Admech codex makes my brain bleed. But the Defilers, I do want to run out and get them. They look lovely. Lovely chat. Anyway, I've covered all the things. So I feel like I have achieved what I have come here to achieve. I'm slightly touched. But we're okay. We're going to make it through. Professional. Tomorrow, there is, for tier 3 channel members, there is the first, I've finished Fulgrim. And there's the first battle report with Fulgrim versus the Guard. Fulgrim leads the Echoes of Ecstasy against the Imperial Guard tomorrow for Tier 3 channel members. If you want to support me, want to support the channel, want to help pay for the food, become a Tier 3 channel member. Thanks, you legends. Sunday, we've got Orcs. It's all the Orcs all the time. 3,000 point Orky things. Orcs fighting, Orcs winning. It's one big win. No one loses when it's Orc on Orcs. Everybody wins. I've spoiled it already. Total victory for the Orcs on Sunday. I love Orc on Orc though. It's so much fun. So many crazy explosions and other things happening. We like that. What else? The SDC is out. Go check that out. I was also on Warhammer 40k in the posts in the community section on my channel. I did a podcast with Warhammer. You can go check that out. Check on the link in the community posts. And I need to do the Emperor's Children video. And I think we're done. I think that's it. We've got the thing. That's done. Yes, I've done all the things. So we are going to leave you. If there's any more comments, suggestions, things, let me know. If you've got any more, 2-minute warning, guys, because I need to go and lie down. Stay hydrated. Nothing. Well, thank you for joining me on this week's Talky Tuesday, Nurgle infested Tuesday, sneezy, blowy Friday. Thank you for all being here. I appreciate you, and happy walking.